Yo, 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 yo. Oh shit. Hey, look, this is a wonderful part about this now, right?
A little music and everything,
We
little
got
baby intro,
music, man.
little baby intro we done learned.
Yeah, man. Something light, something light, something light. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Stellar Buckets. To be honest with you, I think the last time we did a Stellar Buckets video was sometime last year. Sometime last year. So, but the reason why we're doing one so abruptly is one, we made it to 100K, 100 subscribers. I'm about to say 100K subscribers. Whoa, slow down. 100 subscribers though. So congratulations to Rod, congratulations to Zeno, congratulations to Sade, Daryl, congratulations to everybody that has played a large role in Vanity Sports Debates end up turning into 100 subscriber channel. That hard work is starting to pay off. And shout out to you guys, that tune in and give us your subscription and also get into the chat and stuff like that. That means a lot for us. It keeps us going and stuff. And, please make sure to continue to do that. And yeah, we'll continue to try to be as entertaining as possible. Also giving us feedback and stuff like that. But nonetheless, the other reason why we're doing this is because we have some people having some beef. Right, so people have some beef with me because I go around, I get to talking and stuff. I get to yapping and I get to talking about my top 10. I get to talking about my top 10, and they hear it and make them have to stop. Like, wait, you got who over who? So that brings me to none other than our special guest, Mr. A Sturdy. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Hey man, salute everybody. And just before we get started, casual, I just want to let the people know, as a black man, I don't beef with my brothers. I educate them. That's all that is.
No,
Wow.
He's already starting on.
That was.
I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to understand. Coming from FYF debates. Salute to FYF, man. We have had to work very hard to ingratiate ourselves with fans, and so that's what this nigga's doing right now. He's ingratiating himself. He's buttering y'all up. Don't fall for it, okay? Because when these niggas get to this chat, they better not be on no. Oh well, he's such a nice guy. He doesn't beef for black people. We have to root for him.
Well, that's the thing, casual. I'm here to just let the people know of the facts. That's all it is, just the facts. And the facts is there's a bunch of things like I understand, letting the people know since FYF that I beat you in debate over there. There's no beef, bro. There's never been a beef. I like being
understood that topic is not a fair topic.
I once again, casual, to add more facts / context to it. We didn't pick the topic. It was AI generated.
GPT topic, and we understand.
AI generated. And Rod.
Yeah.
And Rod. Yeah, guess what, Rod?
Yeah.
To add even more context to it, I literally told Casual the method on how to beat me, and he just didn't get the job done. So and I see what it is. So
no.
Damn. So he said he gave you a cheat sheet.
Rod. In the words of the great Patrick Beverly, I told no lies.
What was the topic?
Goodness, not Beverly, not the Bev.
What was the topic?
The topic was is the draft lottery system beneficial to young players? I was in favor, you was against, and hey man, I just put up a better argument.
So I had to defend. I had to make the case that they needed to change the draft concept, which they already did. So I had to make that debate. And this nigga gets the benefit of playing keep away. All he has to do is slide his feet, and he's done his job. That nigga don't have to do nothing else. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen, bro.
See, Rod, once again,
good lord.
I'm a versatile person, multi-talented person, and in doing so.
You know what's funny? He got his comeuppance because he just went up against Lowe recently. And I'd argue that topic that they put in before you guys, that was similar to the debate we had. There was very few ways you're gonna be able to do it. you're gonna be able to come out on top, especially if the person that you're debating is smart enough to know how to play people with.
Yeah, and Rod, just get further explanation to myself, right? I study and practice and train other sports, you know, and if you're familiar with a guy named Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather won multiple championships being quote unquote defensive. It's called having ring generalship. That's all that is. I'm just versatile. I can come in like Tyson. I can counter you. I can counter you like Floyd, or I can dance around you like Ali.
Oh
that's
no.
you know what I'm saying. Like it's just, but just to let people know, it's not. I wasn't. Yes, I woke up like this, but at the end of the day, I just still put in the work. You know, hard work.
Very little
Talent
work.
without hard work.
That's like me being given equations, and this nigga being given a piece of paper that says what's 2 + 2. That's literally all he had to do. All he had to do was that homework right there. I had by tomorrow to finish a pamphlet of numeric equations. That's not fair.
See, once again, Rob, especially as a guy who took AP Calc, that what Cassie just said is accurate.
Oh my god!
As a matter of fact, I said after the debate, Casual, that if you followed your format that you laid out in the first round, which you won, you would have beaten me. But you didn't.
I followed
you fell for the okie doke. No, you didn't, son. If you want,
I guess we're doing another episode.
Rod, if you want, maybe another podcast. Cash can do, a live review of his debates on FYF, and you can give your own opinion of it.
Yeah, we'll do a reaction because niggas is just capping down. That's what we're doing. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic at hand. And our first chat, Mr. Ralph Lawrence says no chance in hell. Curry is greater than Will. All right, so I guess I got to get to explaining. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and get the let's get the image in here. 1 second. This 30s is mine. That's 30s. This is mine. Yeah, this is mine right here. Okay. Go ahead and share that. All right. Y'all can see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. May want to blow it up a little bit.
Oh, you need me to blow it up? Yeah. Let's see. Maybe I have to zoom in. Yeah, zoom in.
Yeah, zoom in.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now people can see stuff.
Okay. That's the most important thing. I need you to see stuff. Okay. All right. So first is LeBron. Second is MJ. Oh, well, first off, let me explain my criteria. Okay. My criteria is longevity, the impact you have within that longevity, and then after that, accolades. Oh, also playoff translation, it gets taken into account and stuff like that. But I think you guys already know that. And then accolades come after that, but it's like minuscule. I don't really care about accolades as much as I do about how great you were, your time, like how long you were great. And then I take into account also the era that you were in for you to be that great. So that's where I am. So I have LeBron first. I think anybody that has MJ over LeBron, I'm not mad at. Because I understand his impact for 13 years shouldn't be like discounted. But that being said, I think there is something to be said about LeBron going from 2006 all the way to, what would we say, 2020? I think 2020, that's his prime. I think the work that he put in from there, even with the blemish of 2011, the 2011 finals, I think that's enough to where he, to me personally, his longevity speaks for itself, especially when you're talking about playoffs, and how he was routinely getting to the postseason, and people were ready to downgrade him due to him being in a weak East. But when he was stripped away of what made him so dominant in the East, according to people, with having a stacked team and whatnot, in 2018, he was still able to do that. And the moment you gave him another star next to him, even at an older age, he was able to get right back to winning championships. So that's why I have him 1. And then Michael Jordan, self-explanatory. I have Tim Duncan 3rd. I think that's a little bit different from everybody else, but I'm very high on peak Duncan, what he did in 2003. Really, to tell you the truth, that 90, I think it's 99 all the way to 2007, that prime of dominance that he had in the league, no matter who you put around him, that's really what moved me to put him at 3rd, especially considering the league that he was in. Kareem is 4th. I think the longevity should speak for itself. Bill Russell's 5th. Kobe 6th. Hakeem 7th. Shaq is 8th. I think that's a little different from people. I don't think people have Shaq that low. I think what would you say is probably the one that you would probably move Shaq ahead? Hakeem or Kobe?
Definitely Kobe.
Kobe.
Definitely Kobe.
Okay. Yeah, that's the I would think that Hakeem would be the one that people would sort of be like, But Kobe and Hakeem can both have that role. But me personally, Kobe's longevity, and then specifically what he did from 2007 to 2010 specifically, that's like that was very impressive to me, especially like considering how he's in a way sort of turned his game into more of a being more of that creator for others, being more of a facilitator for others than he was in past years where he was playing more selfish basketball. So I that's why I give him that. And then obviously, taking into account what he was able to do as far as like performances in the playoffs, transferring his production in the regular season to the playoffs, and the result of them winning a championship versus not just a team like Orlando, which I think we all agree that the Lakers were like supremely better than, but he also was able to do it against the big 3 Celtics, who we all thought were going to, essentially be a dynasty at that point. And they weren't able to do that because of Kobe specifically. So that's why I have him there. And then Hakeem, I don't know if I really need to go into depth over how good Hakeem was, but defensively, the impact for like how long he was able to be impactful was there. Even once he started to slow down, I'd argue his offensive game started to be more in the forefront, and it showed. And that's ultimately what got him the championship in 94 and 95. Not just his defense, but his offense also being put more to the forefront. So that's why I have him there. Shaq is 8th, Magic's 9th, and then Steph is 10th. Now, this is the part where I will shut up. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to let you cook, Sturdy. I'll leave the list up here.
Well, you going to show them, or we just going to get into it?
You want me to show you yours?
Yeah, so the people can understand my perspective and why I would disagree.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, let me know if you can see this right. I'm finna show right now. Zoom it in one more time, or you good?
Yeah, just zoom in a little bit.
Okay. Okay. All right. How's that?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mute up. Go ahead, cook up, Sturdy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my top 10 greatest players of all time. Not best, but greatest players. And my criteria for me to get this order is 30% production impact, 30% longevity, another 30% playoff translation, and then that last 10% accolades. Now, working from the small percentage and going up, the reason why I have 10% accolades because I do think accolades to some degree give you a framework of how that player was perceived during their era. However, accolades simply do not tell you who's the superior player, regardless of the context. They just don't. And there's numerous examples of it. Guys winning MVPs, even some guys winning Finals MVPs, that they simply weren't better than the guys who deserved it. So that's why it's 10% accolades. Then I go playoff translation because to me that's six. That's if we had to break it up to a pie. That's like 40% of a player's legacy. You know what I'm saying? There's 6% they do in the regular season, 40% they do in the playoffs. In the playoffs, as we know, is difficult to do. You are game planning against a team's game plan to stop you for what you do best, and for players and teams to overcome that, that's very important. Also, playoff you get guaranteed to get teams and players best effort. So that's why I have playoff translation that high, that much. Longevity is an underrated criteria that I think should be put this much value into because at the end of the day, it is extremely difficult to sustain greatness. So all your all-time greats have at least 8-year period of sustained greatness, right? So that's why I have longevity for 30%, and last 30% is production impact, kind of self-explanatory. I mean, by production, I mean all stats that's relevant, not all stats completely, but all stats that's relevant to what you're describing set player. And the impact is all the things that you can't, there's a track numerically that happens on the court that's important, but also impact in terms of how much did you change the game. That's my criteria. And as based off that criteria, you got LeBron number one, Jordan number two, Kareem number three, 2 and 3, in my opinion, it's always been interchangeable. You got 4, Bill Russell, 5, Tim Duncan, 6, Wilt Chamberlain, 7, Shaq. To me, that's interchangeable as well. And then you got Hakeem number 8, Kobe number 9, Magic number 10, and in particular 8, 9, and 10 are interchangeable. That's my top 10. That's my criteria. If I want to give a brief description on where everybody's at, where they at, is kind of obvious. So LeBron, in terms of a production impact standpoint, kind of self-explanatory. It's kind of self-explanatory. Longevity, self-explanatory. Playoff translation, in my opinion, it's between him and Jordan in regards to who have the greatest playoff translation ever. From consistency, peak, impacting your team, situation, overcoming odds, all that other stuff, encompass it. Him and Jordan have the best playoff translation ever. Then obviously, great accolades, 4-time MVP, 4-time final MVP, all-time leader in first teams and all NBA teams, and about to break Kareem's all-star record for most all-star games too. Self-explanatory. Don't need to mention Jordan, everybody knows about Jordan. Kareem, the reason I go back and forth with Kareem and Jordan because Kareem, just how LeBron has the greatest longevity ever, Kareem is right there, is second. There's LeBron, decent gap. Then you have Kareem and Carmelo. Like Kareem, for him to dominate the 70s like that, coming into the NBA polished to that degree, people don't know that he led the league in scoring twice, I believe. Yeah, he led the league in scoring twice. No, 4 times. Either 4 times, twice. I can't believe, but he definitely led the league and blocks 4 times and rebounding twice. And when you talk about as you want from a center, a guy who's going to anchor your franchise for decades, and as the only player to win 5 MVPs voted by the player, 1 by the media, and for him to win in different circumstances shows you how great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. Like, if you would have took a complete resume from amateur to pro, Kareem is the hands down go. But most people, they go by NBA. Even for NBA, he's top 3 minimum. Bill. The reason I got Bill this high, despite popular opinions, because 1, he has 10-year prime, and his entire career, he was 13 years, 14 years, I believe. He was in his prime. He had great longevity, and that entire time, no one impacted winning to that level of Bill Russell. For him to provide that level of defense and innovation for that era, to be the main guy in the common denominator for the Boston Celtics success, to be 10-0 in game-winning games. I mean, best of 3 or best out of 7, game 7, he don't lose. 10-0. And for a guy who have defense in particular for a dynasty build around that tells you how great Bill Russell is. 5 MVPs, underrated athlete, honestly, might be a top 10 athlete of all time if you want to be objective about it, and top 5 IQ of all time. And any basketball player or coach will tell you one of the most respected men of all time. Bill Russell at number 4. Number 5, Tim Duncan. We're talking about a guy who's top 5 player from essentially his rookie year to 2007. So his first 10 years in the league, he was a top 5 player, giving you elite defense for majority of his career. Like literally, he was giving you elite defense from his rookie year to I'll say his second to last year of his career. From rookie year to 2014, this man was giving you all-time great defense, great IQ, and during the greatest power forward ever, he reigned on top of all those guys. And the fun fact I like to give people, he has the most underrated peak of all time, in my opinion. 2003 Duncan from 2003 to 05, that's a top 10 peak of all time. We're talking about a guy who's getting quadruple doubles, anchoring down a great defense, and beating the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the defending champion Shaq and Kobe Lakers, where essentially he was the only all-star on that goddamn team. And only 2 guys on this entire list, him and Bill Russell, are the only guys where you cannot find a single teammate who has something negative to say about him. Not a single one. Tim Duncan at number 5. Number 6, Wilt Chamberlain. We're going to get into that later. But 10 years of dominance. His entire career, he was a vital player. We're talking about the greatest athlete of all time. We're talking about a guy accumulated 4 MVPs in the same era as Bill Russell. We're talking about a guy who's the greatest rebounder of all time, a top 10 defender of all time. And the crazy thing is, setting so many records scoring-wise, that wasn't even his best attribute. That's how cold Wilt was. And then when we get into later, how when he bought into a system, he elevated his team better than most guys on this list. I'll say that rest later. Bill Russell, number 6. I go back and forth with him and Shaq because these 2 guys are the most dominant players ever. Their 2 longevity did not get talked about enough. Shaq's longevity did not get talked about enough. Dude has at least 15, 16 years of longevity and a 13-year prime. From 92 to 05, that man was a top 10 player in the league. We already know about the 3P. We already know about the MVP season. We should have got unanimous MVP, leading the league in scoring, give you all-time great rebounder. And a lot of people don't know he was second in the Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. Majority of Shaq's prime, contrary to popular belief, he was a great defender. Every situation he'd been in up until in his prime, he turned a franchise into a contending team. And nobody besides Wilt Chamberlain had that much of a dominant presence for his era. And that's why I got Shaq at number 7. Number 8, Hakeem. Underrated longevity too, giving you 10 years of the best defense we've seen in the modern era. It's that simple. On top of giving you the best defense we've seen in the modern era, he's also giving you all-time great rebounder and some of the most resilient scoring we've seen in the play against all-time great defense. In the peak center era, he was the best. On top of giving buckets to Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, he also locking niggas up too. Underrated athlete, and no one, not a single player in NBA history won a championship with less than Hakeem Olajuwon. He's at number 8. Number 9, self-explanatory. Kobe Bryant, one of the most versatile scorers we've ever seen. Great 2-way player during his peak. Great prime, 13-year prime from 2000 to 2013. 15-year longevity. He was an all-star caliber player 2 years prior to his prime started. Kind of self-explanatory with Kobe Bryant. It really is. The most underrated aspect of Kobe Bryant to me is his playmaking. Even during times he was viewed as selfish, he was still giving you great playmaking, but it was kind of a double-edged sword. But nonetheless, Kobe Bryant number 9 and number 10, Magic Johnson. The reason I got Magic in my top 10 than opposed to Bird, because like I said earlier, he too has about 10 years of longevity. And I'm be honest with you, like for a guy like that to have that level of impact towards winning and not a good defender, it's crazy. He's known for playing in fast pace with Showtime, but in the half court, when a guy was not a great scorer, for him to exploit defense like that with his passing, I mean, you can go back and watch games where guys miscommunicate just for a quick second. Boom, Magic is taking advantage of that on the baseline, giving guys easy layups. 10 years being the best playmaker all time, got the most assists average, I think, in the playoffs and regular season all time, most total assists all time. And we're talking about a guy whose career got short because they didn't know how to take care of age back then. Magic Johnson, number 10. And that's my top 10.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Big Sturdy. Why don't you have Curry in your top 10?
I do not have Curry in my top 10, instead in my top 15 because of a few reasons. The first reason is I don't believe Curry's longevity is as much, nor is it better than those guys in the top 10. Second thing is maybe outside of Bill, maybe all those guys have a higher peak than him. Third, I just think all those guys impact the game overall than Curry. And lastly, if for the low hanging fruit, most of those guys got more accolades than Curry. I think honestly all those guys got more accolades than Curry. But yeah, that's the reason why I don't have Curry in my top 10.
Okay. Please get to these comments. There's a comment on there that I need to.
I'm about to. Ralph Lauren says Magic career is over Shaq. Land says Wilt is him. Land also says everybody on your list can guard multiple spots except Curry. I think he was referring to me. Which to talk about this for a second, me personally, if I cared about, first off, that's wrong because I have Magic in my top 10. He can't guard multiple positions. So that's one. And two, I don't care about whether you can guard 1 through 4, 1 through 5. I really could care less about that. I more so care about what you are good at, how good you utilize your talents on an impacting front, and how long that impact resonated with the team that you're on and what that did for your team. That's all. That's what I care about. So yeah, you can say there's a majority of the people. I'll give you that. I'll throw you a bone. The majority of the people on my list can guard multiple positions. That does not matter. And especially if that's the case, it leaves it even more viable of a reason for them being ahead of him. He's 10. It's not like he's like 8, 7, 6. He's 10. So the 9 other players I have on my list all can guard multiple positions, except for Magic. I don't agree. I don't think that he can guard multiple positions. But there. He says 30 lists better. He also says if Kareem could have came out of high school, he would have had 40,000 points. Goats come from Philly, Kobe and Wilt. Ralph. We're just gonna call you Ralph. He says his playoff numbers don't move the needle. I think he was talking about Bill Russell. I saw this chat when you were talking. I think he was referring to Bill Russell. Bill Russell's numbers may not move the needle, I guess. But that's why you don't. That's why you don't focus. That's why you don't focus primarily on just one side of the spectrum. You don't focus too much on just the eye test, and you don't focus too much on just the numbers. Because if you focus too much on one rather than the other, you start misconstruing the context. Bill Russell was not a great scorer. but that's because he was so great of a defender. He was that great of a defender that he was able to lead the Celtics when they had one of the worst offenses in the entire league to the championship. That's how great he was. He was able to overcome Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West because he was that good of a defender. That's how great he was. So no, his numbers may not move the needle, but I promise you, if there were video of this nigga playing defense that you could watch, the philosophy and the logic that he had coming into the game was some of the logic that we use to this day.
Ralph was not talking about Bill; he was talking about Tim Duncan.
Even if you're talking about Tim Duncan, same thing applies to Tim Duncan. But same thing applies to Tim Duncan. Because his numbers didn't have to jump off of the screen for you to notice how great he was playing, how great defensively he was playing against Shaquille O'Neal while Shaq was in his peak. You didn't need numbers to see that. You didn't.
What it is, you can't evaluate every player's playoff translation the same. You got to take what is this player? It's like listen to things that they're great at, right? Mm-hmm. So if I was to say Tim Duncan, what's his best attributes in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defense, number 1. Number 2, rebounding, right? Number 3, playmaking, and then number 4, scoring. So based off that, I'm going to judge him based off those things in the playoffs in that order. So because there's not a lot of stats to track how good a defender Tim Duncan is, his playoff numbers not going to bounce off the screen like that because he's doing a lot of things that are not tracked numerically. That's why you got to watch both the impact and track the production. And for Bill Russell too, the same thing. It's like because my best attribute is defense, everything I'm doing is not going to be tracked numerically.
Especially
for Bill Russell.
Especially at that time, I don't even think they were tracking blocks.
They didn't even track blocks. So it's like blocks or steals. They just started to do formulas now to like try to calculate, defensive win shares and like, there's some articles and like some games where they actually did try to track the hypothetical stat of blocks, and they did. Wilt and Bill be averaging like 8 to 10 blocks a game, like 7 to 8 steals a game.
Which, by the way, I put the chat up there. I see what you were saying, Rodney. I see he was referring to something. My fault. But and he also said, I'm gonna get back to the rest of you guys. I promise, Jason, the kid, Lane. I'm gonna get back to you real quick. He also said, he just did this. He said, but people say Kobe's numbers mimic his regular season, so I put that logic to Tim Duncan because Kobe was a great defender, also not on Duncan level, but eye level. But all right, the Kobe numbers logic. That's always been a flawed logic as well, because there was years because if me personally, and Sturdy, you tell me if I'm wrong. Kobe's peak to me is not the years where he was dropping 35 a game.
Yeah, you're wrong.
That wasn't Kobe's peak to me. If you ask me what his peak is to me, I would say the 2007 all the way to 2009. Was his peak. That was his peak to me because he was
06 to 09. That was his peak.
Because he was offensively 07 to 09 was his peak to me because he was offensively more sound on a facilitating level. He wasn't just looking to score the ball, although he had the capability to do so. Although his athleticism has sort of diminished around that time because he started getting older and stuff like that, he was still able to he knew when to be able to use his athleticism to his advantage. He was a smarter player. Not to mention, he still had the defensive capabilities around that time, and it translated to the postseason on far more occasions than it didn't.
So I really like how Sturdy broke down the way you look at a player. As you look, what is his greatest attribute? You look at Tim Duncan, it was his defense. Whether you look at just rebounding, block shots, and he kind of broke that down. If you take each player on this list and you look at them in the same kind of way, like, LeBron, what is his best attribute? In my opinion, it's not his scoring. It's his passing ability, his playmaking. That is his greatest attribute. And he's had it for literally since he came in the league. And then you go to his scoring. You have to switch the mode for each person because they're all totally different players, and they are great in so many different ways. If you look at it that way, you can have a better list, and you can see why some of these players are over other players. I really liked that story. I really did. Really saw it.
Hey,
Shout out
man.
Jason the Kid. Shout out Jason the Kid. Land also says Shaq was a top 5 player for 10 years.
I'm not gonna say top 5 for 10 years, Swish, but he definitely was like 7, definitely 7 at
Top
least.
7. Yeah, I say top 7.
Because like I don't
Well,
think Shaq.
hold on.
Shaq, to me, Shaq wasn't a top 5 player until the earliest you can say was probably 96. That's the earliest, in
You
my
don't think he
opinion.
was a top 5 player in 95?
90. That don't sound my fault. 95. That's the earliest you can probably get
Yeah, but
to.
I'm
And I'm
saying
saying
95 to 2000, 95 to 2005, right?
he wasn't top 5, even though he finished second in MVP. Yeah, he probably was top 5.
That's what I'm
That's
saying. He
top
probably
5.
was top 5. He probably was
Yeah.
top 5 for 10 years.
95, Malone, Jordan. No, Jordan wasn't there in the league in 95. Well, he was. No, fuck that. He lost. But he wasn't better than Shaq that year. But he was a better player. So, okay. So, Jordan, Hakeem, Malone. Yeah, Shaq was top 5 players since 95. That's the earliest I could get.
I was about to say, I mean, unless you want to make, I mean, even if you want to make the argument for David Robinson better, that make him 5th. But I think Shaq
You know
was
what I'm saying? Like after Dave Robinson, I'm like, who's better than Shaq?
Land,
Like I'm saying, you go
just
Pippen. Like I'm saying, I'm going back and forth with Pippen. Like Pippen was fucking incredible.
Yeah, Pippen was incredible, but Shaq, especially like even in once 95 came around, I don't know. I think just like from the offensive level, I think that's where.
Yeah, because now I remember my original thought. My original thought was because I didn't think Shaq was. My original thought was I didn't think Shaq was a top 5 player until Pippen started declining. That was after 96. But 95 Pippen was a bruh.
95 Pippen was a monster defensively. Offensively, is that really moving you though?
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm gonna get an edge to Pippen in 95. 94, I'm not. Pippen was better than Shaq in 94.
95. Yeah, 94.
95. I'll give it a Shaq.
94 is fine. 95 though, Shaq was a much better offensive player, and then we already established that defensively, I think he was close enough, and I think offensively is where the gap between the two is truly met.
Yeah. So I'll stand corrected then, Switch. He was a top 5 player for
10 years.
10 years then.
Jason the Kid got a problem with me. Me. He got a problem with me. Curry is overrated. Iverson better. Still pushing his Iverson propaganda. I'm gonna drop a link. I'm gonna drop the link in about 15 minutes. All right. So just hold tight there. I'm gonna drop the link in about 15 minutes. We just setting the foundation so that when you guys come in, you know exactly what the topic is. We can cook up on it. All right.
We had a conversation about Iverson
literally Sunday, and he
Did
said,
you miss that conversation?
yes, over Iverson being, but no. The argument he was making was Iverson was a facilitator, passing to Carmelo Anthony on fast breaks and stuff like that. And so we didn't have enough time because obviously I had other responsibilities, but I was going to say, like, even in those situations, yeah, that's fine to be able to do it. If Iverson did it every once in a while, nobody's saying that Iverson didn't do it. I actually said on that show Sunday that I think Iverson doesn't get enough credit for the responsibility he had. I think some of the new people that come onto YouTube basketball talks, like sort of that it's like a thing where they diminish Iverson as a player, saying he was this selfish player like all the time, which I think to a degree he was, but I don't think it's to the degree that people will make him out to be. That being said, though, like you're trying to mention him with people that if they're not in your top 10, fine. They should all have an argument. Like Curry should have an argument for being a top 10 all-time playmaker. And y'all are sitting here putting a person that isn't even, that's barely like, he's not even top 20 playmaker all time. Let's be being respectful. Allen Iverson is not that great of a playmaker because he didn't do it for a consistent amount of time. And in high leverage moments, he was not looking to facilitate for his teammates. He was looking more so to score.
I want to hear Sturdy's take on this real quick.
I think it depends when you rank Iverson. That's what it is, to be honest with you. I think he's a top 50 player all time. I don't think he's better than Harden. On terms of being selfish, he was mostly selfish, but he was selfish in terms of team aspect. You know what I'm saying? And he drove out guys that could help him offensively, and he was an inefficient scorer. But like his resiliency in scoring is what makes him all time great. His underrated. He's a very good passer. It's just he wasn't always willing to play make. Because I noticed with Iverson's career, right? He spent the equal amount of years as a point guard as he did as shooting guard. And back then, shooting guards and point guard roles were more defined. So he was constantly going back and forth between how he's balanced playmaking and scoring. He was always approaching scoring first. So that's why Larry Brown just like, fuck it, said, I'm going to put you in a shooting guard and we're going to have you be more off ball than opposed to try to be ISO and stuff. That's why the famous, if you ever heard his action before, the Iverson cut, that where that came from. It was Larry Brown getting AI easier buckets because instead of letting him ball hog and just try to cook and ISOs, right? So all in all, I just think AI is an all-time great player. I just think the way people argue for him kind of dilutes his career.
I can't wait for this conversation to happen. I really can't.
Yeah, the way people dilute him.
This mug is all on Iverson in the chat. Just pull him in right now. I need this argument right.
No, we got at least me and Cash got at least got like 5-10 minutes of this Will.
Okay.
Yeah. We just need literally just take about 5-10. 10 minutes max. 10 minutes max. Sir.
All
right. The problem is the problem that I need to know right now, Sturdy, is based off my criteria. And what's crazy is I hope that what you say is not as nasty as what I've been hearing. If it is,
hey Rod, as a vice person, you just Rod, hey man, I think I've been chilled. I think I've been giving you these books.
No, but
in a polite way.
I met you, nigga. I know you. Hey man. Based off of my career my criteria that you and I both know I have, where is the problem with having Curry above Chamberlain?
The thing is, ironically, we have the same criteria, but we weigh it differently. We both don't weigh accolades as high, but I think. One, the way I literally laid out my criteria being a little more balanced in terms of those criteria, I'm unclear on which ones you favor more. You said longevity. So like here's the thing, right? Let's just break it down for face value. So just keep it as it is, right? For face value, right? You break down longevity. Wilt has better longevity than Curry, even now. You break it down from as a fact. You break it down from production impact.
Season and postseason?
Yes. Tim Duncan's prime alone. His longevity is his whole career. I'm not
getting no argument with Tim Duncan.
My fault. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilter Ramon Chamberlain. That's not even his name, but Wilt Chamberlain.
I disagree. How do you think his
No. His name is Wilton Norman Chamberlain. My bad.
How do you think his longevity? Like in regular season, postseason included. How do you think?
No, I'm about to tell you. So, Wilt's prime is from rookie year to his first year in the Lakers. That's 10 years. That's his prime. And the way, let me give more context, right? The way I break down, to me, there's a slight nuance between prime and longevity. Prime is prime, high production relative to the player and the league, right? Prime. Longevity is all the years that you were serviceable. So it's in simplistic form, all-star, all NBA caliber player, right? So perfect example, LeBron James. LeBron James still has the longest longevity of all time. He's still producing at an all-time great level. He's a top 10 player, right? But this is not prime LeBron. To me, that ended in 2020. Yes, this LeBron is averaging 25, shooting 4% from three, all that stuff, but this is not a prime LeBron James. Mm-hmm. But he still contributes to his longevity because he's a serviceable player. So for Wilt, Wilt's prime is from rookie year to the first year in the Lakers. That's 10 years. And then after he came back from his surgery, his injury, where he cracked his knee open, he still gave him an additional 3 to 4 years of being an all-NBA caliber player. So that's 14 years. That's 13 to 14 years of longevity. That's more than Curry. That's number one. Number two.
Hold on. So I'll throw mine in there. The reason why I think that Curry's longevity is greater is because I think from 2014 on to, well, I would say 2013, but I understand some people don't value that 2013 season. But from 2014 all the way up to now, excluding 2020 because his hand being broken and everything, I think Curry would do with his responsibility of being the scorer. When he was asked to be a scorer and a facilitator for the Warriors, he did that, and then he went to the postseason, and his efficiency did not drop that to like a high level degree. He was also still able to facilitate and create opportunities on a consistent basis for the likes of Harrison Barnes, Klay Thompson, a rookie Klay Thompson, and a sophomore Klay Thompson, and also Draymond Green whenever he was on the floor. David Lee, at times, especially after that ACL injury, was very, very critical that Curry created for him rather than the old David Lee who could be able to take people off their dribble. And so that's ultimately where my hat lies on Curry. I think in the later years, he was given different responsibilities, and he maximized that role that he was in to the highest degree. And we're gonna like talk about it. That's typically my problem with Wilt is Curry was given a lot of responsibilities in different roles, and some of them had larger, like weighed more than others, and he was able to switch and be whatever they needed him to be for that time at like an excellent degree, to where when they asked him to be on ball, he did that and he was excellent in that role. When they asked him to be off ball, he did that and he was excellent in that role. When they asked him to go back to being on ball and have the highest usage of his career, he did that and did that incredibly. I cannot say the same for Wilt.
Okay, so two things. One, see, Rod, here's what we learn how to educate. All right. Step one: identify the flaws. Right. So, one, thank you for agreeing with me that Wilt has more longevity than Curry, because even to your measurement, right? If I go from 2014 to now,
I go from 2013. I just want
2013 to now. That's 9 years.
That's 10 years.
Like you said.
Yeah,
9 years.
You're right. 2020.
That's 9 years.
You're right.
So that's just 9 years of his prime. Watch as I just informed you of Wilt Chamberlain's 10 years of his prime alone, not including the other 3 years where he's an all-NBA caliber player. His longevity. Thank you for agreeing with me. The fact that, from rookie year to his first year to the Lakers.
60 to 67.
59, 60 to the first year in the Lakers.
Yeah, so that's oh, you want to go that far? I'm not. No. I don't think that was his prime.
Yeah, that was his prime.
I think he dropped off severely. I think he dropped off severely in 67.
No, that's what people misconstrue. We're gonna get into that in production and impact.
No. Because I'm looking at how impactful
I know
defensively though.
I know. You went to PER, or you did with PER, you went to those stats. I know.
Okay.
That's why we're gonna get into production and impact and situation. Remember, I told you, Rod, The first step in education is what? Identifying the problem, identifying the flaw.
Nasty.
So we just did that. Second thing is casual. Once again, like I said, you agree with me that 10 is greater than 9, 14 longevity is greater than 9. Thank you. So that's just one category of longevity. Now, if you want to transition, yes, for literally casual, for 10 years, Will Chamberlain was a top, I'm being generous, was a top 3 player in the league for 10 years straight. Even Curry, how many years was Curry even top 3 player in the league? Casual.
The top
Top 5. I'm gonna lower the ceiling. Top 5, and I'm gonna be optimistic. I'll be optimistic with you.
LeBron, MJ. No, LeBron, KD. LeBron, KD. CP3. I'd say probably about 9 years, 8 or 9 years. Yeah,
8 years. What the hell? 8 years.
So
2016.
2014.
Hold on.
2014 all the way up to now.
You think he was a top 5 player in 2014?
That's why I think I know LeBron and KD already were. Do you think Russ was better? I didn't think Russ was better.
I think Harden was better.
Because remember, Russ was hurt. But even when he did play, I didn't.
No, he got injured, but he came back in that season. And I still think he's still better than Curry.
That's what I'm saying. Even when he came back, I didn't think that he was better than Curry.
Hold on. You said top 5 player? He was not better than Chris Paul in 2014.
Okay.
What?
Okay, I'll give you that. So that's 3. And then we talked about this in Discord. I think Curry was better than Harden.
Nah, we never gonna agree on that.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Not in 2014.
Disagree. Yeah, we disagree on this one.
But either way, once again, even if I give you that, even if I'm being modest, right? Being optimistic, take your word for it. Top 14 in 2014, he was a top 5 player. That's still less years. Will Chamberlain was a top 3 player for his era. That's just relative to era.
PG, hold on, Tom. No way.
Wait, somebody said something crazy.
He said PG was better than Curry in 2014, bro. Oh my God.
I was gonna say Blake Griffin has a very good case.
He's a sleeper.
Very good case of being better than Curry in 2014.
He's a sleeper. You might be
especially 2014 Blake. So yeah, like
no, I think 2013 it was no discussion. 2014, I'm open to the
2014. People forget 2014. Blake finished third in MVP. In my opinion, that was Blake Griffin.
That was 2013.
No, that was 2014. I know what I'm talking about. So that's 2014. When KD won, LeBron was second, Blake Griffin was third. You need the link, Casual, by any chance? You need a link? See, Rod, the second part in education is preparation. Okay, so knowing where the conversation is already going to go and being prepared for it. All right. So yeah.
Wait, 2013 was he not third? Was he not third that year as well? No,
sir. It was Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo was third.
Yes, Carmelo was Anthony. Yes. So listen, the only reason Melo got third because that one guy in New York who voted for him. But anyway,
wow.
As we just established that Curry wasn't even. Hey, as we just established, Curry was not even top 5 player in 2014. So that's 7 years.
For him barely even getting like enough votes to even like that's like
no, because it was a 2-man race that year. But I'm saying take. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, but like what I'm saying is, Casual, like take away the MVP post aside. In my opinion, that was Blake Griffin's second best year of his career.
I thought that was because 2019. Okay.
Yeah, because Pistons, he was on. Yeah, he was the problem. But anyway, as we just established, Curry was not a top 5 player in 2014. So instead of 8 years, 7 years.
No, we didn't. Because even if you give him Blake, even if you put Blake over,
that's 5.
Yeah, he's 5th.
No, that's 5 above Curry.
No, hold on. LeBron, KD, CP3, Blake,
and Harden. I'm standing the 10 over Harden.
LeBron. I mean, Harden was not better.
And Chris. Okay, even don't give me Harden. Chris Paul. That's still 5.
But Chris Paul's already
in 2014. Chris Paul was better.
Yes, and okay, so that's Bron, KD, CP3, Blake Griffin.
There's no way the Clippers had 2 top 5 players. That doesn't sound right.
I don't really believe that, but like the way he was playing that season, I'm open to the conversation.
I could be nasty. You know what? Now I could be real nasty and say Tim Duncan. But I'm not going to do that. But anyway, either less. Once again, casual. Once again, whether it's 7 or 8, it still don't compare to 10. And that's just relative to error. And which we can only do.
It'd be like 8. It'd be like 8 or 9.
That's long, and that's what longevity is. Not to mention we go to not to mention casual.
The talent Curry is competing with is that who Wilt was competing with?
Dude, the other guy he's competing against is in your top 10.
Bill Russell, and then who else?
Oscar Robertson, Jerry West,
and then who else?
Elgin Baylor. I just gave you 5. Those are 5 guys in top 5 their position all time.
Elgin Baylor is where is Elgin Baylor in this in this conversation?
I go back and forth between him and KD in terms of top 5 small forward all time. But that's not the point. The point is this: casual. And that's another thing too. The third lesson, Rod, is focus. Okay, so first lesson, identify the flaws. Second, preparation. Third, focus. Okay, casual. We gotta stay focused, man. We gotta stay focused. I'm talking about Curry and Wilt, right? So
people that are you bringing up.
So
you're bringing up.
No. So we established. You asked that question. No. I just answered your question, brother.
I'm saying
that's all I did.
The answer that you gave me to my question, as compared to the people that Curry was behind, if they went up against people in that season, if Wilt went up against people that were having that type of season, that was playing the type of basketball that Kevin Durant was playing in 2014, his MVP year, and that nigga wasn't going to. Then, like, what do you want him to do? Like,
casual. I don't know. Casual. I don't know how to answer that hypothetical question. I'll tell you for what was. Okay. So what was Wilt having a more extended longevity than Curry? Whether you say 7 or 8 years, maybe in top 5, Wilt was unanimously a top 3 player for 10 years straight. Second thing is casual. Another thing too. I can't punish players for stuff they can't control, like when they're born.
You are in an astronomical pace. You're in an astronomical pace. So yes, no, you can't pin.
That doesn't.
No, because
we about to get to that. Casual.
I gotta drop the link in a second, so I'm gonna let you finish.
I know, but yeah, you gotta let me finish, brother. You gotta let me finish. Even when it goes to low hanging fruit, like accolades, right? There's no question who has more accolades. Wilt has 4 MVPs to Curry's 2. Wilt has way more all NBA first teams and all NBA teams than Curry. Curry had no defensive teams. Wilt does. Even Finals MVP, casual, Curry and Wilt are tied. So even for the low-hanging fruit of accolades, Wilt has more. Now, let's get into this production and impact, right? You say the 60s was the highest pace era. My reply to that, right, is who is these other players producing the same amount as Wilt? Everybody, all those players, the players I gave you are all-time great players, and yet they still cannot produce same conditions as Wilt. The average all-star for every team in the 60s about 2 to 3. The average Hall of Famer was 2. So pretty much everyone had talented teams to a certain extent around them because the talent was that concentrated. There's a reason why Wilt still was producing at a high level despite everyone playing at an extraordinary pace. There's a reason why Wilt was the only player to average 50. There's a reason why Wilt was the only player to average 40. There's a reason why Wilt led that entire decade for more times averaging 20. Only 4 players in that entire decade averaged 20. So even if you want to say these numbers are due to the pace, I say even that high pace, he still separated himself from all-time elite talent. I'm not going to do this hypothetical thing of let's try to error adjust the pace because beyond honest with you, those formulas are flawed because they don't take away the greatest factor in terms of pace, which is rules. Rules. So that's why I stray away from pace adjustment formulas. I'm gonna land my plane with this, guys. I'm gonna land my plane with this. Speaking of rules, because this ties in the category of production impact. Will Chamberlain was so dominant and so impactful towards the game of basketball. You look this up. His first 5 to 7 years in the league, there's literally 1 to 2 rules added to try to limit his production. And then we're gonna get an impact soon. I know what Cash is about to say.
Now go ahead and tell them what I'm about to say.
Oh, so you was about to say is you was about to say something about you was about to try to contextualize Wilt's stats and production and then transition to playoff translation, right? So remember the original thing we said earlier, right? Not every player should be judged the same. You should go by their best attributes. Casual, what do you think of Wilt's greatest attributes? If you were to list Wilt's greatest attributes in order, what do you think it would be?
I say defense and then rebounding. You say rebounding over defense, but I think defense then rebounding, then score.
And then playmaking, right? So
I'm not even giving
in that order. In that order, right? Hold on. Just by doing blanket statement in that order, right?
I'm not doing playmaking.
Just hold on. Just by no. It's just attributes, bro. Like it's just what he because
it's not even an attribute because he didn't do it.
Hold on. Wrong, and we're gonna get in the situation of that too. But in regards to Wilt's playoff translation, so if I'm judging a playoff of Wilt's defense, which he was consistent at, and only second to Bill Russell, all-time elite, and then his rebounding, which is the best ever, he literally went from 24 average during his prime to 26. So the two things that make him all-time great, he's already consistent in and impactful in, because we all know in the playoffs, rebounding and defense are some of the most important parts of the game. He's consistent in producing and impactful at that, at an all-time level, regardless of era. So when the biggest knock against Will is when people say he's a playoff joke, a dropper, they really looking at only scoring. And by the way, he's going from 40 to 35, 50 to 40. His prime, he's averaging about 35, and then he still give you 27 in the playoffs. No else average 27 in the playoffs? Gotcha. I don't know if you mean or not.
Say it again. I'm just.
I said, you know who else averaged 27 in the playoffs?
MJ.
No, he averaged 33. No, he averaged 30. My bad. 33. My bad. Yeah, 33.
No, shoot me.
It is Donovan Mitchell, Nikola Jokic, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, and if we round up, your boy Stephen Curry. So the point is, if my third best attribute, I'm still producing at a great level, still averaging 30 against the greatest defense of my time against the Boston Celtics, and I'm already giving you all-time great production impact in the two things I am better at, I have great playoff translation. So I know you're going to follow out by saying he didn't impact his team as much, when in reality, in totality of his career, he proven to win as the best player as a team and the second best player as a team on the Lakers. And then most importantly, the most underrated thing about Wilt, people don't want to acknowledge this circumstance. They don't even know about the circumstance. His first 5 years in the league, first 7 years in the league, my bad, he had 5 different head coaches. That's 5 different guys trying to teach you how to win. And out of those 5, if you do more deep dive into it, only 2 are competent. And the one that they fired, he actually stood by, like, don't fire him because what we're doing is working. And the organization even fired him regardless. So it didn't go. It didn't. So him still, even during the inconsistency of different situations, different schemes, he's still getting his team to the playoffs for majority of his prime. He's still going 6 or 7 games with the Celtics with that level of inconsistency. Yes, he was selfish. Yes, he lost to Bill Russell. But my nigga, Bill Russell's 11-2 in his whole fucking career. Everybody lost to Bill Russell.
And that's why he's top 5.
No. The point is, everyone lost to Bill Russell.
No, but
if I'm going to do
Wilt,
and Wilt was one of the 2 players to beat him.
But he beat him with a broken foot. Like you want a cookie.
It don't matter. I'm not gonna say Steph Curry's not a 4-time champion.
Okay, sturdy. I just let you cook for I don't know how long. You
about 8 minutes.
What you're speaking on is preference. You prefer to give Wilt credit for him doing all of these good, which to a certain degree, I have no problem with giving him, his flowers for how good of a scorer he was, how great of a defender he was, how great of a rebounder he was. And his longevity definitely is there. But when he went into the postseason, and there was there were only 3 things that he had to, because I wrote it down because I was sitting here researching while you're talking about this stuff. And the main thing he had to do was lay off on the scoring focus, the individual success per se. He had to lay off on that. Couldn't do that. Had to lay off on the ball dominance. Start facilitating more with the purpose of getting his teammates involved, like Bill Russell was able to do. He couldn't do that.
He did do it.
Stop being so much of a headache in the locker room. Something as simple as shut up. Stop spitting on people in the elevator. This nigga was an egregious spitter. He couldn't stop doing
what do you mean egregious spitter? What does that have to do with
That has nothing to do with anything.
Rod, thank you. Rod is an unbiased civilian. He's an unbiased civilian.
If hold on, Rod, answer me this. How many times have we talked about on our show? If you sit here and you're being a headache in the locker room, it transfers over to the performance on the court as a team.
Yeah, it does, man.
And so if you're sitting here and you're being a headache routinely outside, what you think is going to happen when we get onto this court? And niggas are fed up with you looking to get 50 rather than giving us the ball when we're wide ass open.
That's
On top of being a headache.
Rod, I want you to notice. I kept my argument about basketball.
So when
you did. I'll give you that one.
If you value, and I'm gonna bring you up, fire him. If you value having Wilt in your top 10 due to accolades and his longevity of how long he was able to sustain his statistical excellence in the regular season, and even in the postseason, outside of the times where he met Bill Russell, a healthy Bill Russell. Fair, right on. But forgive me if I would much rather give the credit to the player who played in a slower pace, who revolutionized the game, who went up against better competition and came out on top on a consistent basis. That's ultimately where Curry gets the leg up on Wilt. Wilt has statistical excellence, and you're damn right. There's plenty of people in my top 10. There's people that's outside of my top 10 that has better accolades than Stephen Curry in the totality of their career. But that's not what I value. I don't care about accolades. We already talked about that. I don't care about accolades. I care about your longevity, your impact within that longevity, and what it resulted into. And in Curry's case, he has the longevity because he has 8 to 9 years of excellence. He's working on his 10th right now of excellence that's resulted in 4 championships, a finals MVP, in a slew of seasons that offensively rival some of the greatest offenses we have ever seen. That's why he's top 10.
Okay, so Rod, I want you to I'll answer these questions, Rod. Out of all the things Casual said, how many things were out of Steph Curry's control?
Out of all that, it's out of his control.
Yeah, you know. Matter of fact, I'll simplify for you. I took some notes as he was talking, Casual. Yes or no, Rod? You tell me if this is something Steph Curry could control. His competition.
No.
The pace of the game.
No.
Okay, so that's a good part of it. The talent that he played against.
No.
Okay, so we established that part of your argument for Steph Curry being ranked higher than Wilt Chamberlain is things that he can't control. Okay, so we're gonna note that. Next question, Rob.
Okay.
If no, it's a better question. Steph Curry got 4 championships and how many Finals MVPs?
How many Finals MVPs?
Yeah,
1.
You know how many Will has?
No, I do not know how many he has.
1.
2.
Okay. So they tied. Good to go.
Wait, he has 2?
Accolades.
Oh wait, he does have 2.
Ooh.
Oh my, bro. I apologize to you, Rod. This is the one thing I said that was a mistake this entire time. Out of an hour and 11 minutes in, this is the one thing I said that was a mistake and that was a flaw. Wilt Chamberlain has more Finals MVPs than Curry. And then, so let's establish that. And then you want to talk about revolutionize the game, Rod. This is the last few questions. If a player is so great, the NBA implement rules to try to stop his production, is that a form of revolutionizing the game?
I can see how you see it that way. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah, you know, like a person so dominant, right, that the NBA changed the structure of some of their court to try to limit this man's production.
I think he had to step away.
So here's the thing. Here's the fun fact too, right? Rod, do you know why the foul line is at his length?
No.
It's because of Wilt Chamberlain. They had to widen the lanes because he was getting his own rebound off missed shots on the foul line.
And dunking that thing back, sturdy. Facts.
Rod, do you know why players have to stay stationary when they shoot their free throws?
Is it because of Wilt Chamberlain?
Because Wilt Chamberlain was dunking them from the free throw line on his free throw attempts. Rod. He was dunking from the free throw line on his free throw attempts. They literally was like, "This is illegal. From now on, you can't shoot free throws like this."
So I guess we're just supposed to give everybody a pass that has caused rule changes. We're supposed to give.
It's not that many though.
No, it's not. Oh, last thing. Rod, are you familiar with this? Right?
I'm not saying that it's that many. I'm not saying there's that many fire. I'm saying that just because you changed the
it's me, Ralph. Nigga, we
all
the time.
Oh, it's Ralph.
I see the picture, but you got a different name every time.
No, that was on my cell phone, brother.
Oh, okay. No. I'm saying like you can change the rules and that's fine. Like again, not to take anything away from Wilt. Wilt is 12th. So I'm not taking anything away from him, but just because you change the rules doesn't mean that is the stance, or just because you got an extra Finals MVP, or just because you have accolades because you were in an era that
where players voted for the accolades.
You were in it. Well, I don't know. Nobody in my top 10 do I know. I have Tim Duncan in my third spot in my GOAT list. And he doesn't have the accolades that everybody else.
He has 3, bro. He has 3 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, and has the second. He has top for the most. He's top for the most all defensive teams. Second.
Okay, does he have more accolades than Hakeem Olajuwon to you?
Yes.
Yes, he does. If you count the total accolades he has more.
Championships, because it's championships.
No. Take it individual. He has more individual accolades than Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem got 1 MVP regular season.
And he has two. And he also has a defensive player of the year.
Yes.
Got them too.
Mm-hmm. No, he don't have a defensive player of the year. For some reason,
Tim doesn't have that.
Wait, Duncan don't got that?
No, it's crazy. But he has more all defensive teams than Hakeem. He has more all-stars than Hakeem and more all-NBAs than Hakeem. They probably have the same. But that's the point. In totality, Duncan has more. And in comparison to 1 MVP to Hakeem, Duncan has 2. So in comparison to 2 Finals MVP, Duncan has 3. He has more accolades than Hakeem Olajuwon.
There he is.
I just want to let you know right now, Jason the Kid.
AI Merchant, what's going on?
Rod wanted. Rod.
What's going on, AI Merchant?
Rod wanted you here.
Yeah, I heard him.
AI Merchant, come on, AI Merchant, come on.
That was great.
Hold on, JK. Before you let it rip, like blade, all right? Let me just land my plane with this casual. The point is, right? And by the way, Rod, Wilt Chamberlain, and it's about 15 rules they had to change because of this nigga. 15. But the point is, Rod, casual. That is a mark of all-time great impact. When they literally changed up the rules because of you. 2, he's top 5 in all-time win shares. Like I keep telling you, he made the playoffs majority of his career. Absolutely. He's one of 2 players to beat Bill Russell in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Second thing is he won as the best player on his team, and he won as the second best player on his team.
Hey, sturdy.
So and then when he finally got the coach, because casual, what you didn't want to let the people know before he got that coach, his 5th coach, that team, they had adequate spacing enough for him to even dominate as much as he should have. It took a competent coach to be like, okay, I'm gonna tell Wilt Chamberlain to play more like Bill, which the year he did led the league in assists on top of scoring 27 plus points and give you more rebounds than Bill Russell and give you almost just as good defense. That same time, they also was taking some of the sets out of Celtics offense too. So the point is, just like every great player, you need the right coach to put you in the right system to optimize your talent if you to adjust your game. Same thing for Curry. So Wilt proven that. I can't call this dude a loser when he literally won 2 championships. I can't say this dude don't impact towards winning when not only you make the playoffs majority of the time, but you beat the greatest dynasty ever. They won 8 in a row until this nigga did that shit. How the fuck you don't have impact towards winning?
Because the one time he beat him, he had a broken foot. He had broke his foot.
No, he didn't.
Hey, hold on, Ralph.
All right. Ralph, you, GOAT, you, and I don't know, Jason, if you didn't know this. I'm gonna say this once. I'm not gonna say it again. Bill Russell with the Boston Celtics went down with a foot injury in Game 3 after they split 1-1. They had an upset against the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 4. He didn't come. They lost in Game 5. He came back Game 6, still ailing from his foot injury. And Wilt Chamberlain finished the job on a hampered Bill Russell and the Boston Celtics. So,
why you mention the Lakers?
No.
Why you mention the Lakers?
No.
I'm asking, why did you mention the Lakers?
Stop.
Okay, John, I don't think you heard my question.
Sturdy is speaking to. True. Did Wilt Chamberlain beat a dynasty in the Boston Celtics? Yes.
The greatest dynasty.
Were they healthy? No. Do I give him credit for winning? Do I give him credit for winning the championship that year? Yes. Do I hold it do I think it has as much impact on what sways me on how much I value that championship run as much as Stephen Curry in 2022? No, I don't.
Okay, casual.
Hey,
This will get
starter.
nasty for you. Hold on. This will get nasty for you. This will get nasty for you, casual.
30 seconds.
Nah, fuck all that.
Let's say it again.
This will get nasty for you. This will get nasty for you. How many championships or how many great playoff runs did Curry have where he didn't face an injured team, casual?
Don't care about that.
Oh, now you don't care about that, but we have to care about Bill Russell injury.
Because we spoke about this before. I don't value the 17 and 18 championship. I don't even value the 15 championship as much.
You don't value the 2022 championship either because they faced 3 injured teams.
He went up against the Memphis Grizzlies and even
3 injured teams.
Even with Ja on the floor, because Ja is not this defensive.
Wait, Ja wasn't there?
He's not moving.
Ja wasn't there?
Stop. He's not moving the needle on
he wasn't?
One. And then when he is there, Curry was still getting it off, and he was getting it off when he left. So I don't care about that. And then he did it against Dallas.
Oh, you don't care. Oh, you do care if the Boston Celtics best player gets hurt. You don't care if the Grizzlies best player gets hurt?
Robert Williams played that series, and even though he was ailing from his injury he had in the first round, that is not the same.
We're skipping rounds now.
That is not the same as Bill Russell breaking his foot in game.
We're skipping rounds now. So we picking and choosing now, basically.
Huh?
So basically, we're being selective. You literally said,
because Robert Williams went down with a hyperextended knee. That's why
No. Let's take it step one at a time.
Okay.
The Ja thing. Yes, Ja getting hurt hampers the Grizzlies, my nigga. Despite his defensive woes, he was averaging 35 plus that series. He was the needle mover offensively.
I don't care.
You can't just.
Okay.
You don't care about impact. You don't care about impact. I understand. That's right. I understand. You don't care about impact.
Please stop doing it. Stop doing it.
You don't care about impact.
Stop. No. Stop putting things in some type of context as if I'm one of these niggas.
I just repeat what you said.
Stop. I stop putting it into this context like I'm one of these niggas that be sitting here looking at Stephen Curry and saying, "Oh, well, he beat this team. He beat that team." I don't give a shit if he would have beat. I didn't care that Nikola Jokic lost to the Warriors that postseason run and got bounced out in the first round. I didn't care. You know why? Because he still.
You shouldn't care about Bill. You shouldn't care about Wilt winning a championship 6-7. That's the point.
When Wilt goes up against Bill Russell on a routine basis, a healthy Bill Russell, his efficiency dropped. It did. It just did.
That's not like Steph Curry to me. When Steph Curry goes against a healthy LeBron, he loses and his shit drops.
Okay.
That's not like Steph Curry to me. So you telling me I have to punish Wilt for losing to the best player of his generation, but I can't punish Curry for losing to the best player of his generation?
Curry went up against LeBron James and averaged 26 points on 44, 38, 88 splits.
44, 30. That's not even. Don't it sound like Curry? What are you talking about? His shit dropped. Exactly.
How about when?
And hold on. How much he average? I want you to be.
26,
how much he average?
26 points. That was an increase.
How much did Wilt average against the greatest defensive dynasty of all time? Bring them numbers up.
Wilt Chamberlain against Bill Russell. And what year you want? I'll give you.
Oh, you talking? Hold on. What, you need to give me a year for Curry. You gave me all his average score against LeBron.
You pick the year.
Do the same for Bill. The same thing.
You want me to do it?
No. Don't. You didn't go year by year with Curry. You just simply said the games against LeBron, he averaged this. Wilt
went from averaging 37 points per game to dropping to averaging 30 on 50% and 49 from the free throw line.
So I'm averaging 30. I'm averaging 30 on 50% accuracy against the greatest defender of all time.
You're doing semantics with Curry because
semantics.
Yes, because when Curry went into 2015 against LeBron and averaged 26.
Oh, now you want to go year by year.
To be honest with you, that game 2 is really what draws him back because he played well.
Yes, the games that he played bad in.
Every other game. 2016, I give you. At 2016, you're not getting no argument from.
No, the casual is this simple. It's very this simple, bro. I'm not gonna punish Curry for dropping and losing to the greatest generation, what player of his generation when he's healthy. I'm not gonna do the same thing. You literally just said he's losing to Bill Russell on a routine basis.
Performance. I don't know what to tell you, Sturdy. If he
you just read his performance.
If he did not,
his third worst attribute, casual. His third worst attribute. He's averaging 30 and 50.
If he did not perform in the manner that it was required for you to get past.
What's his best attribute?
In the Boston Celtics.
What's his best attribute,
I don't know what to tell you.
What's his best attribute, Casual?
I don't know what to tell you.
Wilt Chamberlain's best attribute is rebounding defense. So the fact that my third best attribute is still averaging 30 on 50% accuracy against the greatest defender of all time, that should tell you how great I am. In comparison to Curry,
because his best attribute is defense and rebounding before scoring.
What's his rebounding number, sir?
But what he was doing was
prioritizing
his scoring numbers. So if you're
what was his rebounding number, sir?
And then you go up against this person and your scoring numbers drop.
What's his rebounding number, sir?
I
want to know the production of his best attribute, sir.
His rebounding numbers were fantastic.
What was it? The people don't know. They don't have the screen. They don't have the numbers in front of them.
Against Bill Russell in the 60s division finals, it was 27.5.
So I'm upping my production, the thing I do best, but I'm not impactful.
That was not what he prioritized. He prioritized scoring.
Once again, casual.
Even in that series, the main reason why he was putting up those numbers is because he was shooting. He shot 30 shots a game.
Well, yeah, at 120, that's 25% of the shots. That makes sense. Jordan averaged 22 shots a game against the 90s, where they had about 90 possessions a game. That makes sense, casual.
30 shots.
My best score is about to score about 25% of our shots. That makes sense, casual. Think about it, casual. I want you to think about it. In an era what you pointed out was 120 possessions a game, and he's take about 30. What is that? That's 25%. That's 25% of the team's shots.
25% of his team.
That makes sense, casual. Look at Jordan.
So that makes sense.
Okay. Any great all-time scorer is about to have that same percentage, casual. That's the point. I don't understand it. Is that black and white? It's literally that black and white. Even that's the thing. He's still for his best attributes, he's still producing an impact at a high level. Casual, give me Curry's 3 best attributes.
Scoring, facilitation, and then rebounding.
I know this nigga did not just say rebounding.
I was probably say rebounding over defense, though. That me personally. I think he's an underrated rebounder.
Oh my god, bro.
Curry's not a good rebounder.
All right, let's see how honest you are, casual. Let's see remember, you said scoring, facilitating, and rebounding, right?
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain's greatest attributes is rebounding, defense, and scoring, right? Let's see how honest you are, casual. Which of those players maintain their impact and production and their attributes more consistently?
Curry.
Then we're not being honest.
Curry. Because and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Curry,
we're just not being honest.
Okay. The reason why Curry, I would say Curry did it more than Wilt is because Curry was actually fulfilling the role that was bestowed upon him.
What's Wilt's role?
He was asked to be a scorer. He primarily focused on scoring. He achieved that goal on more occasions than not. Far more occasions than not. Facilitate.
What was asked to be a rebounder?
When he was asked to facilitate, he did that on far more occasions than he did not. Rebounding as well. And minuscule. Believe me, minuscule. But he did it. Wilt was not, it wasn't what he was asked to do. what he wanted to do.
Oh, now it's not what Wilt's actually. Okay.
Wilt, because
now it's not what Wilt actually. Okay.
Because Wilt did what he wanted to do.
Why is all these narratives, my nigga? Why can't you just have a simple basketball conversation?
Wilt prioritized scoring, then rebounding, then defense. He did the defensive part correctly and rebounding correctly, and even scoring.
His two best attributes.
Even scoring, he did it correctly, but it was not the same whenever he went up against Bill. And then
the same thing I say with Curry against LeBron.
And then this is the part that really gets me.
This don't make any sense.
You and I both understand Bill Russell at 7'2" was in a faster pace and going up against guys that were like 5 inches shorter than him. So why you keep pointing to his statistical dominance, I'm looking specifically at what he was able to do, because like you keep saying, you have to value you have to look at what they were asked to do. You can't look at everybody the same way. So I'm looking at Bill specifically off of what he did in the postseason, because regular season, it is not a question. It is not a question about him, what he did in the regular season, but in the postseason, because ultimately in the postseason, and specifically in his career, he had to go through that black man in Boston. What did he do in each time he went there? And in each time he went there, his efficiency dropped. I don't know.
Okay, so
tell you, but that is that, because and to be quite honest with you,
it's the same thing with Curry. It's the same exact thing with Curry.
To anybody of any one of you guys that has Wilt in your 10th spot, that's fine, because I don't think it's set in stone that Curry's 10th. I moved him to 10th because it's based off of what he's done so far, what I expect him to do, and why wait? Why BS it and just be like, man, I'm gonna wait until this happened, but I think it's gonna happen. I might as well just jump the gun. He's there.
No, and the thing is,
you have Will.
He's just not there.
Fine.
He's just not there. Curry's just not there. And then to debunk another thing, Casual, the average height for a center in the 60s was 6'10". The average height for a center in today's game is 6'10".
He was 7'2". It was 7'2".
That's the point, Casual. The point is, Casual. The point is, Casual. The point is, what is that? That don't.
He was.
I'm supposed to punish a player for being taller. I'm supposed to punish a player for being taller. That don't make any sense.
He was 7'2" in a faster pace with smaller athletes going.
How is that a detriment to Wilt? And that's not smaller person. I just told you the numbers and height.
Okay. It is not a detriment to point out facts and say, well, I take this into account. It's not knocking him for saying he was excellent.
You're not being accurate with the details either, because I just told you the average height of the center. It's 6'10".
So if it's 6'10",
same height as today,
4 inches taller, then what are we talking about?
What the point is, Casual, in case it's thinking, whether any error, he's taller than the average fucking center. That's the point. He's 7'2".
If he's going in the 90s, where's the
he
Shaq?
Still be at dude, he still be Shaq is not even 7'2". He's 7'1".
No. Where's the Mark Eaton in the 60s? Please tell me. I'm open to listen.
Dude.
Where's Mark Eaton? Where's that?
The average height. The average height of the center, in the 90s was 6'11". I'm telling you, no matter what era he is, he's gonna be taller than everybody. That's the point.
There's only 2 big men that he struggled against.
What the mean? Who?
And they both were 6'9".
Who are you talking about struggle?
Bill.
What do you mean struggle?
Huh?
How's averaging 30 and 27 or 50% average from the field struggling?
Okay, if it takes you 30 to get 30, it's not moving me.
He's not averaging 30 shots a game against Wilt.
If it takes you,
that's one game he took.
I'm not moved.
He's not averaging 30 attempts against Bill. That's one game. Either way, Casual.
Okay.
And either way, Casual. It's the same shit that applies to Jordan for his era.
If it took you 25 to get 30, it's not moving me. If it took you 25 to get 30, it's not moving.
It took Jordan 24 to get 33. It's the same shit. It's the same shit.
You said it took who?
Jordan attempts went from 23 in the regular season to 24 in his prime.
He averaged what?
33. The same shit. The point is, your attempt. What the? It don't make any sense, bro. And that's the thing, bro. You're not even acknowledging the inconsistency in what you're saying.
Why?
You're literally saying, I'm punishing Wilt because he lost to Bill Russell. He went down against Bill Russell, but I'm not punishing Curry because he lost to a healthy LeBron and went down production against LeBron.
He's getting.
Where's the consistency?
Hold on, wait a minute. What? No. It's not the same because Michael Jordan, when he was going into the postseason shooting 25 times, he was also getting to the free throw line 10 times. You know how many times Wilt got to the free throw line against
Now, what does that matter? It's basketball. Great scores don't get fouled. What does that matter?
Do you know?
It don't matter.
Do you know how many times Wilt Chamberlain got to the free throw line against Bill Russell?
He's the center. Why does that matter?
That's all I'm asking. Do you know how many times he got to the free throw line against Bill Russell?
How many times, Casual? How many times, bro?
Because he didn't have no problem getting to the free throw line as a big man and against anybody else. He got to him 12 times. He went up against Bill Russell. It went down.
Dude.
I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, we just acknowledged Steph Curry stats and production go down too. So what's the
not to the
you're still not acknowledging
where your efficiency is compromised.
His accuracy went from 53 to 50%.
To that degree.
His accuracy went from 53% to 50%, Casual. What are you talking about?
Okay, it went from 53% to 50. His went down from 60 to 48.
What are you talking about?
We'll change
the free throw line?
No. I'm looking at the 94 games Wilt went up against Bill Russell. His field goal percentage went from 60 against everybody else. It was 60 to 48.
For his prime. Once again, Casual, for his prime, he's averaging the years I was telling you about. He's averaging 53% from the field on accuracy. And you just told me against Bill it's 50%. Against the greatest defender of all time, only dropping 3% in accuracy?
It's 48%. It's 48%, G.
Okay, my bad. 48%. I'm dropping only 5% accuracy against the greatest defender of all time. That's it. That's normal.
If I'm shooting 60 against
that's normal. What are you talking about? That's normal. Look at Jordan's efficiency accuracy against Pistons. Look at Kobe's efficiency accuracy against the Celtics.
For that era,
bro, no, Casual. The point is, great scorers go down against all-time great defense. That's the point.
Tell me right now, for that era, Wilt going from shooting 60 years where he's shooting 60.
Are we gonna be equal with Curry? Are we gonna be equal with Curry?
He's shooting 54. 68, 59, 58, 56. And every time he goes against Bill Russell, it drops to under 50. Is that
still higher than the average, though?
In that era?
What about Curry? Hold on. What about Curry? Fuck this. Now we're gonna get nasty. Let's get to Curry stats. Mr. 50, 40, 90. What series he ever shot 50, 40, 90, Casual?
He only shot 50, 40, 90 1 year. Well, 2 years. What is it 2 years? No, it's just 1 year.
Okay. How many years of his shoot? Let's do this shit then. How many years for his true shooting percentage? Give me the years he's getting at least 58 plus on true shooting percentage, Casual.
And shit, he's shooting 62% this year, last year.
Okay, Casual. 62% true shooting percentage. Yeah. Against LeBron James. All the series he played against LeBron, how many times he shot at least 60% true shooting percentage?
Damn.
I know it.
Say it again.
Out of all the series he played against LeBron James, how many times did he shoot 60%, at least 60% in true shooting? I know the answer.
Going from I gotta know the number that he had in the regular season. Give me a second.
The point is, Casual, to do this nasty ass carousel we're in, my nigga, which you deviate from even talking about why Curry as an individual is greater than Wilt. We're talking about it's about to be the same. It's about to be the same. You're literally saying Curry is greater than Wilt because Wilt went down about so much against Bill Russell, the best and greatest player of his generation. but I have to ignore Curry stats and production going down against the greatest player of his generation, LeBron. I have to acknowledge Bill Russell's injured when Wilt won his championship, but I can't acknowledge Steph Curry was faced. Hold on, let me finish. Let me just land it, casual. I can't acknowledge all 4 of Steph Curry championships. All of his best playoff runs occurred against injured teams. You see the bullshit?
If you want to hang your hat on Curry against LeBron, that's fine. But Wilt wasn't able to do it against the Knicks either. He wasn't able to.
Out of his prime.
He was out of his prime by that time?
Yes.
Oh, you talking about the next week came back from a blown out kneecap.
I know, Ralph. But we got it.
Hold on. Even
dog, bro.
No, because I don't penalize him like to the degree that others do. But I do understand that you having Jerry West and also having Elgin Bailey, you didn't have to be your best self. He didn't have to be the Wilt the year prior, averaging 27. Not the year
tell
prior.
that coach that, because the coach said otherwise, sir.
Say it again.
Go watch some old Laker documentary. The coach said otherwise.
The coach said what?
What do you mean? First of all, they rushed them back to go in there to that series and said, we need you to be the full strength. That's why that next year when they won the chip, he got the finals MVP.
Ralph, when exactly did he blow out his knee? Can you tell me? You ain't got to tell me like the exact time. I know like that like nobody knows it, but like was it like when the playoffs started? Was it in the middle of the playoffs? When exactly did he blow out his knee?
In the regular season. It was in a regular season.
He came back like 3 months early.
It was like the month of March, wasn't it?
It was in the regular season
against Seattle.
I'm not sure that time frame, but it was in the regular season.
That's fine. Again, that's why I didn't want to put you on a hot seat saying like, give me an exact date. You don't have to give it an exact date, but it looked like it was in March against Seattle. He played 37.
You might be right. You might be right, bro.
Yeah, he played 37 minutes.
His last game was.
Yeah,
on that season.
Yeah, he played against Seattle and then he came back against Chicago. And you notice it was a drastic difference because you notice it was a drastic difference because the nigga, damn, like this nigga's not sturdy, guy from PC sturdy, Hispanic dude. Dub. Yeah, Dub showed me this fucking website that like gives like fucking like pictures and shit. Damn, he looks skinny. He looks skinny.
You see that knee? That's because he was doing volleyball.
Oh, okay.
To get back in better
he
shape.
looks skinnier. Nigga look like he. I ain't gonna say it on here, but
I get you. I get you, Trey.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy, Casual? It's like I hate when people focus on one side of the coin and won't acknowledge the other side of the coin, right? When Wilt did buy into the system, because like I said earlier, one of his flaws, he was a selfish player, right? But when he did buy in, there's a reason why his team won. There's a reason why his team offenses improved to some of the elite of his time. There's a reason why he was on not only the team who had the most wins prior and still to this day have 33 consecutive wins, but he the one who set the record prior before that on the Warriors. So the point is like, even with his flaw, he's still impacting the game at a high level. And then if we want to get nasty, right, because we spent majority of time talking about Wilt Chamberlain's flaw, we didn't even get to Curry's flaw that cost him numerous series. His lack of athleticism, his costly turnovers, his defense.
Get exposed.
Lack of athleticism. What?
I'm saying
what?
When did his lack of athleticism get exposed?
Kevin Love.
In 2016?
2013, 2016. even 20. I'm telling you, 2018 before Chris Paul went down.
Yeah, but
But,
if we're giving, you know, if we're throwing bait for Wilt, right? Which I understand.
I'm not throwing. Hold on, that's not fiction. I'm not a fan of none of these players, bro. I'm not biased towards any of these players. I just say it for what it is.
We're understanding that that the Lakers lost to the Knicks because Wilt blew out his knee, right? Can we give the same logic to Curry because he had a knee injury he was dealing with that entire series in 2016?
No, that's
I'm not casual. When you said that thing about the Knicks, because we said that thing about the Knicks, I say the same thing shit to everybody. He was out of his prime. He was, and coming off an injury. That's not relevant. When people judge these players on what they did out of their prime, it's like James Harden right now. When people still like fucking with James Harden's legacy because what he's doing, I'm like, oh nigga, he's not even in his prime.
You don't have to be.
It don't mean no. It means you can't rewrite. You can't tweak or rewrite a player's legacy based on what they're doing out of their prime.
You don't have, but okay, even in, all right, let's continue with your Harden logic. In Harden's case, even if you're not in your prime against the Boston Celtics last season, fine, but you still have no business not attempting shots. Like,
no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Casual. That's a fact. You ain't gotta get to that. You ain't gotta get to that, Howard. You ain't gotta get to that casual.
Huh?
But what I'm saying is, you ain't gotta get to that.
No,
I want to focus. No.
Philosophy.
I want to focus on Curry's flaws.
Situations to where you don't have to be in your prime to show some type of impact on the team. If you're not showing that impact,
and once again he was, and this is shit I hate. No other player, we skip their best attributes to just focus on. That makes no fucking sense with Wilt.
But we did.
Hold on.
We started.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
We started off the stream giving love to Wilt for
no. Let me finish.
His rebounding.
Let me finish. The point is. The point is right. Because the whole time you was focusing on fucking scoring when the motherfucker was already being great production at it. This shit don't make any sense. And then when we keep trying to focus on Curry flaws, you try to glance over the shit.
Even in
his lack of athleticism permits him.
How impactful is your defense, right? Because in Bill Russell's case, Bill Russell was holding Wilt Chamberlain's team to under, like, I think, what was the standard for that time?
Bill Russell alone. Don't do that either. Bill Russell alone did not hold that entire team down to a certain percentage.
You know, I'm not just saying Bill Russell by himself. Obviously, he had John Havlicek. Bob Cousy wasn't a bad defender. Like obviously he wasn't by himself. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying he was the head of the snake. And in a similar way, I think Bill Russell was not Bill Russell. Wilt Chamberlain was the head of the snake for his respective team. So that's what I'm saying. He was leading his defense. The Boston Celtics were being led by Bill Russell, and Bill Russell had the opposing team. His defense had teams going under their averages on a consistent basis. Whereas whenever Wilt went up against any other team, he was having his way. His teams was having it their way.
That's not true. If you look at the defenses at that time, majority defenses of the 60s, the best defense of the 60s year by year was the Boston Celtics. Majority of the year, majority of the decade.
I literally just looked at Bill Russell. They have years where they're like bottom 20 offense.
How you bottom 20 when there's not even 20 teams in the league?
He still gets them to the championship.
How you bottom 20? There's not even 20 teams in the league.
No, well, I'm not saying bottom 20 like literally.
No, I'm saying, like I said, you look at the defenses of the decade, right? Bill Russell the Celtics are leading them year by year in terms of best defenses. What I'm saying is, majority of those years, the team that came second was the teams Wilt played. And once again, I'm not going to go on another carousel just to prove the fact that Wilt was playing elite defense. That's not the point. My original premise is no other player in NBA history, when people literally, and you literally just did it, when people just try to glance over or try to judge players for an attribute that's not even the first or second best, and they still produce at an all-time great level. That's not even close to what the fuck Curry's doing. Not even close. And then we try to focus on Curry's flaws, his lack of athleticism, his trash defense, was average some years, only was slightly above average 2 years, cost his team or even made his team made things more difficult for his team to succeed. That's a fact too.
To let you guys know, real quick, about there were 8 teams in the NBA. I'm sorry I said 20. I didn't know I had to be literal, but there was 8 teams, and specifically in 61, they won the championship in large part due to Bill Russell leading that defense because they were first. It was by a large margin, while having literally the worst defense in the NBA. 62, they improved to 7th while still having
about Bill Russell
secondary defense.
It's not about Bill Russell.
No. But I'm saying this so that you can understand that what Wilt was asked to do, because we're saying that, based off of your attributes, that's what you're asked to do. If he was asked to play defense,
he produced at all time.
Bill Russell did that better. And so in Curry's case, you cannot say the same. He was asked to be the best offensive player on the floor night in and night out. And
he was never the better offensive player than LeBron James. There's not a single series when he was a better offensive player than LeBron James.
And on more times than not, he was.
There was what series was he a better offensive player than LeBron James? What series was this?
Okay. Unfortunately, Curry didn't go up against LeBron as much as Wilt went up against Bill Russell. So you're arguing that, and then even if you're arguing 2017, 18, along with the 15, 16, he had KD, Clay, and Draymond to be concerned about. I'm sorry if he didn't care about getting as much statistical.
No casual. It's I'm just using your logic, bro.
Curry
at this point,
no, because you're not using my logic. My logic, bro, has been
this is stupid. You're literally saying all your whole justification of Curry being greater is the fact Bill Russell was better than Wilt. That's the point.
2024 has been the best player on his team. He has been an impactful player on the offensive end, both shooting. Both shooting, scoring, facilitation. He has been that for his team. He has been asked to be the facilitator for his roster.
So as well
to do that, which resulted into a championship. He was asked to be an off-ball threat to the likes we have never seen before. He did that. That resulted into a championship. That is why he's top 10. If you have an argument, argue off of that. But the arguments you're making, these are not arguments I'm making about Wilt.
You look casual this whole time, you've been saying Curry is above Wilt because essentially Bill Russell is greater and better than Wilt Chamberlain.
No, that is not that. Like you
because here's not noticed. Hold on, casual. Because hold on. Let me finish. Because you haven't acknowledged this. You have not acknowledged this. The three attributes that Curry is great at, the things that he's asked to do, right? He produced at a great level, right? And scoring. He produced at a great level in facilitating / playmaking, right? He produced just to be modest, at a good level for rebounding. Relative to era, relative to all time. This is what Curry was asked to do, and his attributes, he did it. In comparison to Wilt Chamberlain. Rebounding. Did it and produced at an all-time great level. Same thing for defense and for scoring at a great level. So when you keep repeating the phrase of Curry did this, would actually do this, and he did this, you don't show the same fairness to Wilt by acknowledging he was asked to be a great rebounder. He was asked to be the anchor of the defense. And on top of doing that, he was still asked to be the lead scorer for his team and produce at a great level. Instead, you glance over the rebounding, you glance over the defense, and you focus on him going down in production, accuracy, and scoring.
It sounds like he wants
not being poor, just he went down. He went down by 5% in accuracy, and he went down 7 points in points.
Ralph, I'm gonna let you cook on this because I'm gonna mute up after I say this. I don't glance at his offensive package or his defensive ways or how historical he was defensively or even his rebounding ability. I don't glance at it. It just doesn't move me as much as it moves you because I know what he was truly asked to do in multiple series was to involve his teammates more, and he refused to do so because to what you alluded to, he's not a good teammate. And so that is what ultimately is going to hold him back from ever being considered a top 10 player to me or to anybody else in our circle because he plays selfish basketball. He did.
And you have Kobe Bryant, number 6.
He did.
How the fuck does this shit make sense? You have Jordan top 3 based off selfishness, being a bad teammate, but Will's not top 10. That makes no fucking sense.
He did for the
make no fucking sense.
Time. And the only time where he ultimately started to play unselfishly was when he was out of his team. And that's why I don't value what he was doing on the defensive and offensive and rebounding as much as what it sounds like sturdy values. That's what it is.
It's not value. I'm saying for what it is, bro. Like this the inconsistent, this the bull, and that's what I'm saying, right? If I have to justify Curry being the top 10 based off the flaws, or based off if I have to justify Curry being top 10 based off one flaw of one player, that's how you know he's not in the top 10.
Even in Kobe and Jordan's area, first off, Kobe has
and Jordan was a horrible teammate majority of his career. Horrible teammate
to 2013. Kobe has 5-6 years of where he was playing some of his best basketball when he stopped playing as selfish as he once did in 05, 06 specifically. He played some of his best basketball. In Jordan's case, Jordan ran a whole decade the moment he stopped playing as selfish as he did in the early
Wrong.
80s.
He plays selfish. It just he plays selfish. According to his teammates, according to Scottie Pippen, I'm telling you who. According to P. Williams, according to Scottie Pippen, according to Steve Kerr, according to Tony Kukoc, all those guys. According to Bill Cartwright, according to John Sally, according to Horace Grant, all those guys said even when we was winning, Jordan was still a selfish player.
The guy that got facilitated to hit the biggest shot of his career.
So that one moment proves Jordan wasn't a selfish player. That one moment proves Scottie
Pippen, who was giving a role to facilitate because he was stronger in the facilitating role than Jordan was. Because he didn't facilitate, he was selfish. Because he was asked to score.
It's based off his style of play. Literally, even Isaiah Thomas, the guy who beat him and studied the fucking Bulls, literally said what made the Bulls tough to beat, it wasn't Jordan. It's the fact that they were getting in their second and third option as a team collectively. Look at what Jordan was doing. He was still scoring in the same spots. He was still averaging 30, putting up the same amount of attempts. he was a horrible teammate for majority of his career. That's a fact. He was a selfish player for his career. That is a fact. It's just we don't punish Jordan because his team had 6 championships. There's a reason why Jordan's home. There's a reason why Jordan said himself, I can't win. There's a reason why Jordan said himself, I can't win without Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson.
As you can see, that ain't the case with me. I have him second all time. He's not first. He's not the GOAT.
No, the point is he's top 3, but Wilt is not the top 10 for being selfish and horrible teammate, but Jordan isn't because he had more team success.
Because Jordan wasn't to that level of egregiancy.
What the fuck you talking about?
He punched the shit out of his teammate.
Fuck that. That's a notorious story. This nigga Jordan was literally trying to bully motherfuckers. The only thing that didn't take that shit was nigga that he knew he could kick his ass. Nigga was taking food for niggas. Nigga was literally, this literally was a time where this nigga was like, he literally told this dude, he literally told the GM, if this guy don't do this, don't give him a contract. Jordan was an asshole. But because he had a great teammate like Scottie Pippen, because he had a Zen master like Phil Jackson, and the team won, people just pretend like he wasn't an asshole and a bad teammate.
When it cures it all.
No, winner covers it all. But Will get punished even though his fucking team won. Even though his team was competitive.
That's why I said it sounded like he depended on championships to me. That's what he's alluding to.
No, it's not. It's not, Ralph. It's just what it is. What it is, Ralph, is literally like I still don't get it. It's like we'll get penalized, right? Over penalized for flaws other players had.
Because it was to an egregious degree.
So what when this
and that's another thing too. A lot of niggas, why the fuck niggas don't take in the common sense thing of this, bro? A cocky, rich, articulate black guy is not gonna get shown the greatest light with the media in the 60s. I'm sorry. So even when I go back and get the interviews and the questionnaires of his former teammates, of his coach, they all say, yeah, he was an asshole, but he was also a great player. He was also, when he did buy into the system, we was clicking on all cylinders. And that's the shit I hate most. People want to acknowledge the growth and the adaptation of other great players, but not Wilt. When he did buy into the system, he only won because Bill Russell got his foot hurt. That's the bullshit.
He bought into a system against Bill Russell?
In 67.
He did not.
67.
He did not.
That's the bullshit. And that's the bullshit. Everybody get acknowledged for it's already a fact. That's not even an opinion. That's a fact. It's 67. Yo, that's crazy, bro. You think you just dropped it? You think you dropped? Yo, hold on. Cash, let's do it your way. The most selfish, arrogant asshole in the history of the NBA that spit on people. You really think his points just dropped dramatically from 66, 67? Just because? He was buying into the system. There's a reason why. Oh, bro. Look at his teammates' production goes up between 66 and 67. Just go research articles on what the fuck the Warriors was doing that particular year. It's the same shit for Jordan. Nigga like, Jordan's selfish until he got with the triangle and then they start winning. It's the same fucking concept. Fuck what I said earlier in terms of having 5 different coaches. Fuck what I said earlier in terms of having 5 different systems. Like we gonna pretend like Curry won anything without that split action offense of the fucking Warriors. Like we gonna pretend all the playoff success Curry has, when his team was a great defensive team, which you all know, majority of the time he was the weakest defender on his team.
Fact.
But I can't acknowledge that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, dog, like by every category, from impact production, longevity, accolades, even with the playoff translation, Will has an extreme high impact in the playoffs. I still produce impact the things that asked me to do, but I'm the only one in Vegas that get penalized for them. I'm the only one. Fuck what LeBron doing as a facilitator playmaker. Let's see what he does defensively. Fuck Kobe Bryant as a scorer, as a playmaker. Let's see what he does rebound. Like, bro, like that's the bullshit.
If you go, I don't know. Can you guys hear me from back here? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you go and you restart, Will Chamberlain, great rebounder, great defender, great scorer. The problem that I have with him is ultimately why he was not successful in deep postseason runs, specifically winning game. Like, I'm not saying win a championship, Ralph. I don't care about the ring. I don't even care that Curry has 4 rings. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is for you to be successful, right? Like, for instance, let's talk about LeBron, right? For LeBron to be ultimately successful, LeBron had to ultimately get out of his own way and stop being so passive that he's a complete detriment to his team, right? And so the moment he realized he had to be
that happened one time.
No.
That happened one time.
Well,
a lot of people do. A lot of people exaggerate too. That happened one series.
No, wait a minute. Because I think if we go back and we look at even the Spurs series, the moment he started having,
he wasn't passive. He just didn't. He was 21. He didn't know how to beat that defense. And then even what's his name?
30.
Even Mike Brown said himself, they was running shit that we already knew.
30, relax. All I'm saying is, what players in NBA history, especially some of the greatest we have ever seen, they all have to figure out what is the way for me to ultimately become successful at the highest level. And when it came to Wilt, it took far too damn long for him to finally get it.
Casual.
That is why I do not value as highly his rebounding, defensive, and offensive ability, because he had all of that talent. But when it came down to the highest, not the highest level. Well, if you beat the Celtics, you eventually had a championship. When it came down to the highest point for him to execute and be the player that they needed him to be, both as a scorer, defender, as a rebounder, basically they're everything. He was not able to do it because he was so focused on his individual success. And that is where I penalize him. Now, if you want to go to well, then you need to penalize Kobe. He's like 6th. Some people
No. What I'm saying is this. One, him being selfish does not penalize him to a degree. He should be at the top 10 for anybody. Objectively, it's just pure. For anybody. Just being objective for anybody. I'm not offending none of these fucking players. For anybody, he should be everybody's top 10. There's certain niggas, I get everybody view the game different ways, but certain niggas, you say all the time, certain niggas just be in the top 10. This is no fucking way. And the second thing is, why you keep glancing over this most important fact? You say it took him way too goddamn long. He had 5 different coaches in his first 7 years. The reason I keep repeating that thing, no player, I don't care who they are, no player is going to win with that level of instability. And then, like I said before, like every great player, you need a system to optimize what you do. And he didn't have that offensive system until his 6th or 7th year in the league. Just like Jordan. Jordan didn't win a fucking thing until what? The triangle. Same thing with Shaq. Same thing with Kobe. And so on and so on. The problem is, instead of people doing extra research and saying, okay, that level of instability, okay, that contributes to that. To be honest with you, that's the one thing I noticed. That's the main reason why Wilt was fucking selfish. He didn't trust no fucking body. Imagine that shit. Your first 7 years in the league, you got 5 different niggas telling you how to win. Five different voices tell you how to win. And only 2 of them, and this you can find this shit, only 2 of them was competent to actually give you the formula. But those other 5 years, we got to punish him. Say, oh no, that was pointless. That was pointless. That was empty stats. He wasn't impactful. I'm not. That's being biased. Just how Curry needs the right coach. That's how Jordan needs the right coach. That's how every great player you name to have high-level success in playoffs need the right coach and right system to optimize their talents. I'm gonna give the same equality to Wilt. And just like all our other great players, when they didn't have the right coach or the right system, they balled out. Just like Wilt. They didn't win, but they balled out. How many times niggas say fucking Jordan dropped 60 and losing effort?
You keep speaking about his 5 coaches. You want me to speak about it? Fine. I understand him not having coaches. But there's a maturity level that coaches, they should not be given the responsibility to have to raise this man from simple logic. You have to raise.
We're going to
time out. Wait. So I am supposed to sit here and expect, let's say, Phil Jackson to raise Michael Jordan to understand simple logic, like not spitting on people.
You gotta let that spitting shit go, bro. I don't care what players do. I don't care what players do.
The moment I read that he did it on a couple of occasions.
I don't care, bro. I don't listen, bro. I don't care. I don't care, Jordan. I don't care if Jordan had a gambling problem. I don't care, Jordan. I don't care if Jordan had mob ties that got his dad shot. I don't care. I don't care if Kobe Bryant had sex with a white girl, and the only reason he got off because other niggas had nothing to bitch too. I don't care. That had nothing to do with basketball. That had nothing to do with basketball.
You don't think if there's negative activity from one of your teammates outside the court, you don't think that floods over? Especially
No. Me personally, I experienced this shit. I experienced being on the team when niggas doing crazy shit, but when we got in the field, it didn't matter.
First of all, you tell the half truth. The guy was racist to him. Point blank, period. During the 60s.
Wait, you talking about what situation you talking about?
In the elevator.
You talking about where he asked him how's the weather? That's racist?
No, that's another thing too. Everybody cut that fucking. Everybody made that seem like he just walked in the elevator and asked how's the weather up there. That's not how the shit happened. That's another thing too. It's like, bro, it's like
pulling up all the articles because I literally pasted these shits. He spit on opponents.
What does that do with basketball? I don't care if he pissed on. What does that do with basketball?
He spit on.
But casual, what does that do with basketball? I don't care if he pissed on him. What did that do with basketball?
Okay, all right. We're getting OD.
Bro, no. Like what happens is like this start to become a beauty pageant, and like, oh, he has the best personality. That counts for something. What the fuck?
That's nasty, asshole. It's nasty word, bro.
Okay.
Like, bro, like that don't make any sense. And then yes, and casual, to answer your question, yes, there's literally a famous video of Phil Jackson telling Michael Jordan the most common sense shit to do. Michael, who's open? Her, passing the damn ball. And there's numerous examples. That's just the most famous one. So yes, sometimes coaches have to remind great players what the fucking do with common sense.
But wait, okay. So you're speaking on like Phil Jackson teaching Michael Jordan, well, not teaching, but telling him to pass the ball.
Court vision.
Wilt was having problems where he saw them and he didn't want to give it to him. And even when he was told to, he still didn't do it.
Where you getting this information from?
Hold on, Ralph. It's the same thing. Hold on, casual. It's the same thing with Jordan. Go back and watch Game 6 of the Portland Trailblazers. When the Bulls were down by 15 in the second half, he was being fucking selfish. He was being a ball hog. You know what fucking Phil Jackson did? He benched his ass. And you know what happened? The Bulls went on a run, came back, dropped the deficit down to 3, and then he put Jordan back in the fucking game. Does that mean like that? And there's other stories like that. Like that's the point, bro. Like no one gets the same treatment like Wilt. No one does.
They're scared of his dominance. That's what it really is.
That's what it is. Like this nigga, what the nigga did was so cold. We know niggas can't do this shit again. So we gotta denigrate it somehow. Oh, the pace with 120 possessions game. Why the fuck no one else is doing it then? I don't know.
Right. He wasn't the only 7-footer out there, bro.
Oh, he was doing against plumbers. There was only one guy in NBA history that registered as a plumber, and that was the guy who played on the Celtics for only one game. A lot of people don't know this shit. The check that they was getting paid for in a regular season, even in the 60s, was good enough for them to make a living. The problem is there was no union. There was no medical costs. There was no financial security. That's why some of those guys were still in the army or had certain jobs that provide that security. But they was getting paid enough to make a living. So that plumber stuff don't apply. That height thing don't apply. Because like I said before, the average height for a center is 6'10". The average height for a center today is 6'10". And most importantly, that error shit don't apply because, dog, it's like 8 to 10 teams mean the talent's more concentrated. Like I said earlier, each team had 2 to 3 all-stars. Each team had 2 Hall of Famers. That means each team was talented. But nonetheless, I don't punish Will for shit he can't control. Just like every player I don't care if Jordan played in a era where it benefit his playing style. I don't care.
It sounds to me, Sturdy, like it's like, okay, it comes down to if there's certain things that you don't care about that I care about. Like you don't care about the fact that Wilt's numbers were in an area that was a faster pace because you go by the logic of you can't control those things. My logic is true, you can't control those things, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that, and I value that compared to other people that played in a slower pace. Those type of things. If that's why you have Wilt in your 10 and you don't have Curry in your 10 or anywhere near your 10, that's fine.
No, my problem is casual. It's not a matter of agree disagree. I don't like the acknowledgement.
We have to wrap this up because I gotta be on the road. But
you gotta text Bill Russell too then.
I text Bill Russell.
He's still on your top 10.
Bill Russell, no, he's in my 10, but he's like fifth.
Yeah, he got put that same text.
Originally he was third. But the more I started thinking about it, even his defensive numbers, especially once you take into account he was in the same pace that Wilt was able to benefit off of, he gets penalized for it too. And to be honest with you, starting to get to the point of where I'm thinking of sliding him further back. Like he's probably gonna. I'm doing my homework right now to think about it, but he might before it's all said and done. He's fifth right now. He might end up sliding behind Magic and end up being ninth.
The point is, just to sum it up,
I'm trying to gauge. The only thing that I'm researching to gauge exactly where he should be is how valid that defense was. Like how valid his defense was. That's really what I'm researching. Look,
my thing is
right now in private chat, by the way, Ralph.
What you say?
My thing is
I'm sending you this this quote from it was Billy Cunningham and Matt Gauskas. Matt Gukas. I don't know how to say his name, but they quoted these are people that went up against Wilt. And they
one of them was his coaches. Bill was his coach.
No. I'm talking about what's his name? Chet. Not Chet. Mac Gukas. Gukas. And they're talking about Chet Walker.
Oh, casual. Let me say this real quick, bro. Like, my bad if I came off like a little more passionate or yelling and all that shit.
Don't stop with the apology. You good? Don't worry about it.
No. Let me say this real quick because it's like I said earlier, the reason why I talk with this panel is because I don't like bad narratives. I just don't. And the thing is, like, if we just gonna be fair to everybody, just like that's my own thing. And objectively, I just don't see how Curry, outside of just impact, which out of all the categories in my criteria, outside of impact, I don't see how he can be top 10 objectively. And I noticed the only way people can move him in the top 10 if people add caveats that they don't apply to every other player to bring other people down. And that's never how it's worked in sports. When you set a bar, a person to pass you up, you have to exceed that bar, not try to solve the post at the bottom to lower the bar. And that's why I say earlier, I only try to be accurate, and that's it, and fair. And I'm not gonna. And in every other sport, like football, boxing, MMA, a lot of baseball, a lot of sports don't disrespect errors like they do in basketball. And I don't understand why. I honestly don't. What they do in other sports, they acknowledge the conditions of that error and they leave it at that. But the fact that this dude, who in any era will be an athletic freak, and this dude in any era will be a great rebounder and a great defender and a good scorer. I mean, good, just being modest. He'll be elite in any era. And undoubtedly, Will Chamberlain should be in everyone's top 10. If you take all the narratives, you take out the outside the court stuff, you're the top 10 greatest player of all time.
And to be fair, I sort of no, Wilt's not as egregious as this other dude, but number 32 for the Utah Jazz, you'll never hear me speak about him.
I get it. Yeah. I get it. But even then, if you have a string and you rank the top 10 power forwards, I'm gonna rank the nigga. I get it, but
yeah, anybody that wants to talk about him, I mean, you're not gonna get no argument from me. But I ain't speaking about the nigga.
I get it. It just we gotta separate the work.
You got anything you want to speak on, bro?
I get it. Ralph, what you doing, man?
Yeah, right. What Ralph doing?
Yeah, my bad, casual.
I was looking at these quotes.
My bad, casual. I'm gonna work on being more hospitable. I thought all good. It's just when you try to not acknowledge,
you will find
the obvious. That's why I get impatient. I'm like, oh hell no.
You will find this platform. This show isn't orchestrated to be like our Sunday show where we have topics and we need to stay on topic. Like this one is free flowing. Talk about what about shit. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta go ahead and clip some of this shit. Best believe sturdy. The MJ one you spoke about, that one's on YouTube.
Bro, thanks for having me, bro.
Hey, Ralph, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. We need to get you on so that you can talk more. I don't think you got a fair shot this time, so we gotta figure out what we're gonna do about Sundays. We gotta get you.
My bad.
You just 30.
Y'all good. I like the atmosphere. We're gonna build your channel up, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. But sure, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. I gotta head over here. I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but I'll let y'all later, man. Peace.
Fuck Steph Curry.
Now he's a hater. Fuck.